Good morning, Heidi Foy here with Bullfrog Creatives, and we are live at the Ford Wyoming Center, the end of the countdown, the end of the road to the CNFR. We are, well, check-in is tomorrow, and we are just 2 days away from the action starting right here at the Ford Wyoming Center. I have with me our 11th region. Some might say that we saved the best for last. These guys probably would agree with that. I'm going to let these guys introduce themselves. We have our regional director, faculty director, and our student director. So,
my name's Ben Londo. I'm the state faculty director and the head coach at Cal Poly.
And my name's Travis Smith. I am the student regional director of the West Coast region, and I'm a student at Cal Poly University.
Okay, hopefully our listeners, if you guys can hear us, I know we're in a very large environment today. I like to use very small studios, so I don't have to worry about this type of stuff, but we have mic'd up a little bit different, and that would also be part of the delay. We just finished running goats this morning. They're going to be working some steers behind us, so if you guys are having trouble hearing us, just let me know, and then we can talk louder. I guess that's the fix for that. So before we get started with the results for the West Coast region and who's going to be representing the West Coast here in Casper, I have some questions for you. We've talked to Ben before. We'll talk to him a little bit more, but first and foremost, yeah, I mean, really, it's really about the students. So I heard an interesting story about you. Tell me what your major is at Cal Poly.
I'm actually double majoring, so I'm a ag business student, and I'm also studying ag systems management.
Okay. I have no idea what ag systems management means. What does that mean?
It's a part of our ag engineering department, and ag systems management is the business management side of the ag engineering. So we learn all about how to operate ag systems. So then we can go out in the world and lead a team in that, you know, engineering area.
It's a pretty amazing major at Cal Poly, and it's become really popular probably in the last 10 years. They get such a wide berth. The engineering, the tasting engineering at Cal Poly, but then it's very hands-on, a lot of time in the shop, a lot of opportunities to build and be in the field. I'd say it's probably the best majors Cal Poly offers.
Definitely. So talk to me about your decision to go to Cal Poly. That's what I am interested in.
Well, it was a pretty easy one. Towards the end there, I applied to a lot of schools, and it's a pretty driven high school student. And but Cal Poly had the agriculture factor that I loved, and the hands-on factor that I loved, and just a really great rodeo team, and the culmination of everything. Just I knew that I was home when I was out there.
He's not going to say it, is he?
You're going to have pride.
So what other schools were you accepted to, sir?
Well, some of the most prominent were Harvard and Cornell, the East Coast.
They don't have a rodeo team.
They don't have a rodeo team.
Yeah. That's so interesting to me. I mean, not only does it speak volumes to you as a student, as a human, but also to your program at Cal Poly. Like, Harvard or Cal Poly, I would say typically not two colleges that are in the same decision field, but certainly rodeo does play into that.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. I mean, Cal Poly's got the third toughest university in California to get into. There's no slouch there, but to get into two of the best universities in the country,
yeah.
Takes a lot.
Yeah. So is this is your first year as a regional director, as a student director?
Yes, ma'am.
So what are your plans moving forward? Are you going to be taking up the 5th year?
Well, right now I am going into my junior year, so I might do a master's program at Cal Poly. Still have a little time to think on it, but it's definitely in the windshield looking forward.
Perfect. So I think that it's a common misconception for rodeo fans that college rodeo student athletes are not as driven in the classroom. And while there are probably some students that are in college to rodeo, I think that here lately, and kids that I've come across are more students than athletes. And I think being able to highlight your accomplishments just in the application process, but your goals and your driven personality, I think it speaks volumes to the entire organization. So, okay, I will let you not be on the spot anymore. Then talk to us about how long you have been coaching at Cal Poly, but then also how long you've been the regional.
I've been coaching for 10 years, and I've been the regional faculty here. I guess
How many times have you competed in this facility yourself?
been here 4 times. So, yeah, fortunate enough to go to Cal Poly and did 5 years there. I was on the extended track. Actually, I sat out my whole first year with a broken leg. Took about 10 minutes.
Is it, I mean, it's probably very similar to when I think of my track record in this building and being involved with the college finals, but it's kind of full circle at this point.
It is. It's such an advantage to be involved in it now and be involved in the production and the installation of the arena and everything that goes into making it happen.
Yeah.
I wish I had an appreciation of that when I was a student.
I was just thinking that.
Just a huge amount of volunteers and contractors that come here and pour their heart and soul into this to make it happen in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
As a student, I wish more could be involved. I wish they could all come out here and pack panels with us.
Yeah, that would be helpful. But I mean, not just helpful for this, but I think when student athletes have an understanding of what goes into it, they have a little bit more appreciation for the end result.
Yeah.
So,
And take some ownership, and
Yeah.
it's neat. This is college rodeo. Behind us, we're breaking in, we're going through the stair for the bulldogging.
Mhm.
And students that are doing the work, put the effort in to make their rodeo.
Yeah.
And that's across the board. Students all over the country putting on their own rodeos, giving back to their. It's neat to come here together and do it all as the best litigation.
Yeah.
Here before we start the competitions tomorrow.
well, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to. One of the main differences in this collegiate sport and other NCAA sanctioned sports is that student athletes have a say
Yes, ma'am.
in the rules, in the timing, in I mean, all the things.
Absolutely.
And for you as a student, I mean, I think that's very common in high school organizations and organizations prior to, but very, very unique to rodeo. And so it's just something that you're not going to see anywhere else. If you're going to see just as many students in the arena during the production of the rodeo, making sure that things are going smoothly, as you will see coaches and volunteers running around. And I think that, again, it just speaks volumes to the members and what the organization is doing.
Yes.
So, okay, I'll get off my soapbox. I'm sure I'm going to repeat myself numerous times because this is the 11th region. So you guys are not going to be able to see that. Hopefully, there. How about that? Can you see those standings?
Yes.
I can't. Wow. That aged me a little bit. If you guys see me squinting, just don't comment, make fun of me. Just do it where I can't. So, okay, let's talk about who we have coming from the West Coast region. I always ask that you guys tell stories, but let's keep those stories PG, shall we? Because we are a family show, I think. I would like to hope that we are. So let's start at the top with the men's team. Of course, we see Cal Poly right at the top bringing the men's team. I always make comments about the point spread in every event because I think that speaks to the level of competition in each region. I see you guys did come out on top, but it was fairly close in a team standing situation. Talk to us about the two teams we have from men coming.
Yeah, so we've got Cal Poly's bringing a full men's team. We have one in the region. Our farm team, Cuesta College, like the Connie Pierce, work very closely with us. Students practice with us throughout the year. Many of them are on track to transfer to Cal Poly. It's a sister school to Cal Poly. So it was great to bring Cuesta as our reserve champion team this year and bring a lot of these kids together.
Very cool. All right. How about women's team?
Women's team, we did well. The women's team this year. on the region, and then a good friend of mine too, him, Fresno State. Which are new.
And I am going to make a note. Our prior student director here took a coaching position, started a brand new program this year, and I see their women's team in the top in the West Coast region. So Alan Hancock, I think that I talked to her a couple of times over the last year and how the transition was from student to coach. But I think that speaks volumes to that she was able to start a brand new program. You know, obviously they didn't bring a team, but she's working her way up those ranks. So
yeah, no, Tyrese, she's done a great job getting that program off the ground. She's a great leader. She's proven that as director within the region. She's taken that program from next to nothing and made it something. She's got some really outstanding girls. Very competitive and very tough.
very cool. I'm just going to double check and make sure we don't have any comments here. All right, we'll scroll on down. Men's all around.
Men's all-around champion in the region, Caden Drysdale. And the unfortunate academic turnout into the semester. That rolled up two of mine. Freshman at Cal Poly, and that kid is a beast. Just a worker, just a cowboy, all-around great hand. He's coming in the tight end with the team. He won the region, and the team was fielding for Pierceville, another student. And then Daniel Moran is a veteran here. He's coming to the team roping, and he ended up winning the cap roping for our region. And that's his number one event. It's his passion. It's excited to bring both those guys to represent all.
Perfect. You are going to have to talk. You're going to have to just interrupt and tell all the stories. So,
well, as far as the men's all around go, Tucker Donlin, I've been rodeoing with him since high school, and I've known him a really long time, a good friend of mine. And Daniel Miranda, he's actually from Hawaii, for those who don't know, and come to California, and man, he just fits right in with the team. I mean, what a team player, and another really, really good friend of mine, and excited to see what they're going to do here.
So do you guys see a lot of, I mean, I think it's becoming more common where men compete in both ends of the arena. Is it similar in your region? Do you see a lot like rough stock riders and time events, or are they pretty?
I think there's more and more incentives for additional time event guys to pick up. Tucker started riding broncs just last year.
Okay.
Started coming up in practice with us, and he's a force. The kid's he's gonna be a bronc rider. He'll be here in the long run with you.
That's cool. That's cool. I know some regions they seem to weigh heavier in roping events or timed events versus rough stocks, and so I think more we're seeing where they're blending both ends. All right, how about women's all around?
Yeah, women's all around. Our team captain Maggie Escher, who dominated this year. She works the breakaway rope and team rope go time. She won the go time this year. Just a competitor. You name it, she can do it. Absolutely tough. Mentally, they're one of the strongest competitors we have. And she's really going to show us this week. She's excited to be here. It's nice to have a couple of them under a belt.
Yeah.
Be able to come here and just be able to enjoy, compete, and enjoy the opportunity.
Well, and since you mentioned that, I would love to hear your perspective as a student athlete. Have you competed here before?
This is my first year in Casper.
Okay, so I'm totally going to put you on the spot, so I'm not going to say I don't want to, because I'm going to. When you're coming in, are you prepared for this, or is there still a little bit of unknown? Like, I'm not really sure. Like, what does that look like for you from a mental standpoint?
I'm certainly learning as I'm going, but I feel prepared as can be. We did a lot of work as a team before we came. From our morning workouts to our practice sessions and our meeting with our mental coach, and just everything's coming together, and it's here, and very excited.
I feel like, and broken record here, but I feel like because there's more opportunities for our youth to compete at a larger stage prior to this, even prior to the national high school finals, the mental game, like, you have to be on your mental game once you get to the stage, because there's so many other opportunities for kids to play at a big stage like this, they're more prepared.
Right.
So, I mean, did you compete at some of those events as you were growing up?
Well, I went to the high school finals one year and went to some bigger high school rodeos.
Yeah.
I was always a jackpot kid. I love team roping. So if I can go somewhere and enter a bunch of times, that's kind of my game. But, just a lot of that. And even our college rodeos on the West Coast, we put on a couple really big, high attended rodeos out there. I think a lot of that gets good preparation for kids to come out here and do some good and, maybe knock off some nerves and just feel comfortable and ready.
Perfect. All right, let's scroll down. I don't know if we got that or not. I kind of hope so. Because it was funny.
Welcome to Casper.
Yeah.
You bring up a great point. How more seasoned these young athletes are at a younger age. Winning second in our all-around in the region is Haley Grant, freshman in our program, and she has been in every stage you can imagine. Junior NFRs, Americans.
Yeah.
She's been there, done that, and you can really see that in her. And she backs in the box. It doesn't matter where it's at.
She's laser focused.
PRCA rodeo or college rodeo, but it's the same game plan. It's laser focus. If the nerves are getting to her, you wouldn't see it. She looks like she's been here 10 times already.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's different kind of trains of thought in the level of competition for younger kids like that, but I do feel like we're going to start seeing it pay off as far as the level of competition and how we can continue to grow the sport. I mean, we've already seen it in breakaway roping. We've already seen it in goat tying for sure. Just when you think that it can't get any faster, somebody comes out and breaks the arena record. And we've seen that the last several years where they're making one small tweak and changes the whole game. And so I think I would attribute those wins to those types of opportunities that are available for younger cowboys and cowgirls. So I know that there are different trains of thought on that, like either it's more likely for burnout, but I think you're going to have that in any sport, not just rodeo. So, well, let's keep on going here. Saddle bronc riding. And I hope you guys can read that because I'm not even trying to read it anymore. It's just a white cloud. Might need to go to the eye doctor. Do you want to talk about some saddle bronc riders?
Yes. I can't.
So.
It doesn't get much bigger than that, does it?
No. Okay, it's not just me.
No, you're good. Well, anyway, representing us here is Tucker Bordette and
okay, this is
Matt
hilarious.
Sisley in number 2, right?
Yeah.
And then Leland as well. And all of these guys I know really well. I'm not a bronc rider myself, but I see them out at our practices constantly. I mean, daily. If they're not bucking live horses, they're on the dummies and getting after it. And talk about a positive bunch of guys too. I would say with those rough stock practices around the West Coast region, everyone's just in such a good mood and happy to be around there and practicing together and really a fierce team, I'd say. Ben might be able to touch a little bit more on that, being the rough stock guy, but
no, I'm excited for the bronc riders we're bringing. They're all from our camp, Western. And these guys have practiced together, rodeo together for years. 2 of these guys got their start at Cal Poly. So Matt, kind of coming off a shoulder injury, but really excited about the talent of that kid. He is just a man. Tucker's just a flawless rider. Just meat and potatoes, great cowboy, goes at every horse the same, and just really has a good style. And then Leland, our cowboy student, he's great. He's a master student. He's really worked hard to get where he's at. He's come so far. Really looking for some great opportunities here this week for him to showcase his talent.
Perfect. So you guys might recognize that we changed from talking about the top 2 to now we're going to talk about the top 3. So top 2 team, top 2 all around, top all around.
Yep, all around reserve.
And then for individual, as far as each event is concerned, the top 3 will qualify and come to compete at the CNFR. So we will scroll down bareback riding.
I can touch on this one.
All right.
So we're bringing Wyatt Wood this year, and this Wyatt fella, he was my roommate freshman year, and I got to know him pretty well. And a great guy, a good athlete too. I'd say when it comes to mental game, he is probably the least flustered and best put together going into anything of anybody I know. And I don't know how he does it, but he just makes his runs and does his own thing, and he's ready for anything.
It's tough to rattle Wyatt.
Yeah.
Even when Daniel sneak up and sneak attack him in practice, Wyatt's a very accomplished wrestler from high school, and Daniel's just a dirty, tough athlete. So they tangle quite a bit. Has Daniel won about? He's won 1 out of maybe 5 or 6.
He doesn't win them very often, but he tries.
He never gets them.
All right, and then Feather River is coming in. All right, how about some bull riding?
Take it away.
You.
We've got a really good set of bull riding. Our bull riding numbers are down this year, but we had some great stuff. We're bringing Jeffrey Fisher from Cal Poly in 3rd place. Jeffrey's a great student, great kid. Really worked hard this year and worked on himself more than I've ever seen him. And it's really paid off, his riding ability and his mental game plan. He had some really great moments with our sports psychology coach the last couple of weeks. I'm excited to see that come to fruition this week and see what we can do. Then we got Cody Russell. He's just an amazing bull rider. And then Braden Berry. This kid's unreal. He's made some phenomenal bull rides this year. And just such a great personality and great can-do effort every time. And just really proud of the bull riders for Braden Berry.
So as a bull rider, I know that bull riding is kind of an interesting event at the CNFR and really at any championship level. I mean, even at the NFR, very rarely do we see 10 qualified rides.
Right.
So what is the game plan coming in for bull riding?
Well, I was tasked as the rough stock director to kind of try and help even our stock list and sorting. But I would say that the pin of bulls we had last year was just absolutely phenomenal for a finals of this caliber with 4 rounds. I'm excited about the list that we've got again this year. These kids got some great chances to put some ride stands. There's great bulls in here, but there are just the super ranked bulls that are going to eliminate
everybody.
And it looks like a really good list. Of course, there's outliers to that. These guys, they bring their A game and just consistently concentrate on riding and making the whistle. That's the name of the game.
Perfect. All right, how about some tie down?
Leading the tie down this year by a hefty lead is Daniel Miranda. We touched on him earlier. And just what a well-rounded individual. I mean, he's a scholar in the classroom, and seen him make a lot of strides and a lot of improvements this year just on his mental game. He makes a lot of good runs and a lot of perfect runs, and he's just been chugging along this year. And he's the kind of guy that if no one wants to practice, he'll still show up to practice. It doesn't matter. Rain or shine or a really hot day on the West Coast, he's out there tying calves and getting things done. And we're also bringing Tucker Donlin in the calf roping this year. Another great athlete, works hard, and a good horseman too. I'll talk about Tucker and how he works horses, and that's a big part of rodeo, and not just what you can do, but what you can do with your horse. Yeah. And who was our other qualifier? Garrett Christensen from Chico. I mean, great calf roper, great competitor. I don't know him personally from Cal Poly, but I've watched that man make some really, really great runs this year, and I know he'll do some good out here in Casper.
Yeah, I just talked to him on the phone. They're just a few hours out, so I'm excited to get here. First time for him. He doesn't exactly know what to expect. It's neat to be able to be a coach to those independents when they get here.
Yeah.
Somebody that first time here and doesn't really have the support structure that most of the teams do. So we'll take him in as one of ours this week. But yeah, Garrett's a great kid and super talented. So excited to give him.
So something that you guys have both mentioned repeatedly, I would say, is a mental coach. Are you seeing that? I mean, that's something that we offer in our recruiting program, but are you seeing that kind of come into play and come into the picture a little bit more in the individual program too?
Travis talked about his own. I just started working with the new, call it mental performance coach.
Yeah.
He started working with the Cal Poly team. I kind of caught wind of him and sat in on a session, and I really enjoyed his concept of staff. It's very aligned with our program goals, and focusing on gratitude, positive thinking, and a lot of it we stress. We really strive for within our program.
Mm-hmm.
Point speaks that way. It's all about enjoying the opportunity to come here and just make another run and do something we love, and not putting too much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah.
Not overanalyzing the system. And these students have really gravitated towards train of thought and points methods. And Daniel's one of the ones that he's such a perfectionist and just wants to be perfect all the time. And it's really got him to realize mistakes are opportunities to get better.
Yeah.
And he's really grabbed that and ran with it. I know he's helped Travis quite a bit. I've been helping Jeff with it.
Yeah.
All these things. We've had some really great sessions where we'll go work out in the morning in the gym, and then for half an hour after that, when everybody's cooling down before we get our practice day started, just jump on a Zoom and keep it informal and just talk about the day and talk about the next opportunities. And it's really good about just giving us a tidbit each time.
Yeah, something little to work on every time.
Not just overflowing.
Well, and I can think back just on my own experience in college. There's a lot of irons to navigate.
Absolutely.
Especially at Cal Poly with the level of academic expectation. If you're in the middle of finals and you're right at the end of the season and you've got to do good this weekend to make the college finals, having some tools that you practice year round and not just when your feet are at the fire, I think it makes that so much easier. And we are seeing that. You guys aren't the only community or only college that has mentioned this mental performance coach. Like, we're seeing it. I'm hearing about it from many coaches across the nation. Like, we're really starting to utilize, I would say, utilize tools that have been more utilized in other disciplines and other sports. We're seeing that transition now to the sport of rodeo. And it's also one of those things that is only going to make us stronger. It's only going to make the industry stronger. It's only going to make the athletes stronger, the contestants stronger. So I'm excited about where we're going.
So much about rodeo is just, you don't have much time to think. You don't have much time to react. Everything happens so fast. But you've got so much downtime in between to either get in your head or make some progress.
Absolutely.
We've really learned.
Great way to say that. All right, let's keep rolling down. As you guys can tell, there's a lot of action up here at the Ford Wyoming Center, just kind of run and stop through. So I know that Ben is wanting to get back to his duties, so we'll try to scoot along. All right, steer wrestling.
So this year in the steer wrestling, we're bringing Caden Javati, Tanner Kerr, and Owen Redfearon. A great group of guys. Caden Javati, I've been blessed to know him since high school, and a wonderful competitor and athlete and teammate. He's a positive guy in practice and a really hard worker. He's never afraid to roll his sleeves up and get dirty. Anyway, is testament to his practice and his drive there. Tanner Kerr, a great athlete up from Feather River. He's going to come and represent, and he's made some good runs this year in the bulldogging. Just come out there and never a surprise, but he's always done well. And then Owen Redfearon, he's a multiple event cowboy, and he's going to come in the steer wrestling, and expecting big things from him too.
Perfect. Anything to add there?
No, I'm excited about it. Owen, he's a beast. He goes to West Hills. He just got accepted. He'll start at Cal Poly this fall.
Oh, perfect.
Tanner, I love that little horse that he bulldog. Just so fun to watch the two of those together. And then Caden's an absolute. He's a wolf. He lives in the gym. Super dedicated. And he gets hands on animals, and it's a game. So it's cool to see these guys in action.
Perfect. All right. Team roping. It's always a little bit harder to talk about team roping because we can't see the headers and the heelers. So we have to talk about headers first.
Oh, okay. So leading the region this year, we have Pierce Wold. Pierce, a wonderful guy, and we touched on horsemanship earlier today. And I think of the people out of the West Coast, he's probably the most dialed in, and he always works on his horse before anyone, and a lot of pretty much every event, but team roping too. He gets his horse working right, and then he's practicing for himself, and I think that's going to bring him a big benefit here in Casper. Have his horse right and dialed, and
he's got such a smart, competitive mindset. He's a gamer. He's basketball, baseball, follow stats. He understands sport on a deeper level than just going and competing. So he understands the sport and average. He understands. I guarantee he's looked at what's happened over the last 10 years here, and he knows as a header coming here, what he needs to do to progress and move forward. And excited to have that level of mindset coming
in the number 2 spot, we have McKenna Wood. She's been just a talented roper for all her years in the West Coast. I've got to watch her for the last 2, and it never makes a bad run, and just always comes out there, and talk about good handles from McKenna Wood too. Just always sets it up there and gives her heeler a good shot. And this little arena, I think that's going to do them a lot of benefit, having that good cattle handling skill and good start, and just an all-around hand as well. Good horseman.
She's got Spencer Gordon from UNLV rope behind her, so that'd be awesome.
Sir. And then Tyler Jones is also coming from West Coast. He's an athlete out of Fresno, and he's pretty much every event that you could enter, he'll enter. And he still shows up in the team roping and all his other events for that matter, and he'll rope a steer and do really good, and just a really well-rounded individual, and come out here and do some good.
I'm excited that Tyler made it in team roping. He hurt his knee mid-season this year, and quick in on broncs. Yeah, incredibly tough. I'm glad he got to get out here and at least one of his events.
Very good.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about healers.
So Tucker Donlin, he's healing behind Pierce Wold. That's going to be a Wolfie team this year. They're just set and dialed, and they've got a game plan, and as they always do. Like Ben said, Pierce is very, very strategic competitor, and Tucker, he follows in suit, and they're going to do some good. Tucker, he's here in the calf roping as well. We said that earlier, and he'll have a good finals.
Perfect.
And then Spencer Gordon in the number 2 healing spot. He's healing behind McKenna Wood. He's been a heck of an athlete all year long. Just healing steers and making good runs. And here once we get to Casper, it's a game of average, and they're a good team to watch for an average. They'll put plenty of good runs together, and so we'll look for that. And then of course we have roping with Tyler Jones is Tanner Kerr. And like I said earlier, Tanner, he's a good all-around hand, and we watched him turn some good steers on the West Coast too. So.
And then we picked up some teams like many regions did.
Yeah.
So Daniel Miranda will be headed for Taylor Carpenter. Another great team, very consistent, very smart. Just both great seasoned ropers. I'm excited to put that team together. Caleb Brooks, Quest, so we also got into Poly this fall. So you guys keep a green vest on him to get the right one on. Quest's colors are green.
No bias.
Another team I'm excited about is Haley Grant. She's coming in the Breakwater Open. She won the regional Breakwater Open. But she's just an all-star hitter. Like McKenna, just about the best handle you could get. And we've got a freshman behind her, Ty Jacobs, that we're able to pick up. A young man from Washington, and he's just such a great roper. And just a pleasure to be around. And he's really excited about getting the opportunity to roll.
Yeah, perfect. So you did mention the small, tighter setup here at the CNFR. How do you prepare? What types of arenas are you guys usually rodeoing in?
Well, and the last team is, Travis is.
You didn't even mention yourself.
He gets to head for Tucker Burnett.
Okay.
Tucker's riding broncs for Quest here, but he is a healing machine, just a cow. He just understands cattle, reads cattle well, and just knows how to scoop the feed.
Perfect.
And Travis is also just such a great header and great handle. And he's been working a lot. We cut our arena down because this is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is a tight setup, and that left wall is close here.
Yeah.
Our arena dimensions match everything on the right side of the box to this arena, but we built a left wall in our arena as we start preparing. So just to let these headers know where it's at and how to start handling those cattle, so those healers can have a shot if they miss those first 2 jumps.
I would imagine as a header, it would be, I mean, the arena change would impact the header as much, if not more, than even the racing or the goat tying. I mean, because if you're used to a wide open space and you're looking back, not really paying attention to what's in front of you, which is common. You know, I think most headers are looking back and watching what's going on behind them. So it can come up, well,
this is
way faster here.
And this is the tightest setup we on the West Coast will see all year.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering. So outside of that, I mean, are you trying to enter? Or are you just doing rodeo runs and not practice pen?
Well, when we're practicing at school, we just kind of want to get everything right. You know, you're not going to have a perfect run every time, but just, you know, to have your horse sitting good in the box, score good, handle the cattle good. I think the biggest thing we worked on is how to give a good handle, because after all, it is a team event, and you know, you as a header need to give your healer the best shot, and then you know, your healer needs to identify what the best shot is coming across that short arena, because you really don't have many jumps to get your run taken care of.
I mean, I think my first instinct is to think about the changes for the header, but it shortens up the options and the opportunities for your healer too.
Yes, definitely.
You better take your shot.
Yeah, both sides definitely have to work together and you know, figure out a good run, you know, within their respective sides.
Yeah, perfect. All right, let's talk some ladies events. How about some barrel racers?
So barrel racing, Paloma, she had such a great season within our region. She goes to Ellen Hancock. That's Tyrese College. She's just such a seasoned competitor with outstanding horsepower. She had a great season in the region. Really excited to see what she can do here. In second place, Jessica Cranbeer. She's got a new horse this year. Super consistent and has got wheels. She goes to Cal Poly. Really excited for her to have the opportunity. And then Brooklyn Quisenberg. She's been here in the barrel racing before. Same horse. So we're excited to give her another shot.
Perfect. So I'm going to ask the same question. How are these ladies preparing, or at least from a coach's standpoint, what's your advice for these ladies? Is it similar to what y'all did for the team ropers?
A little bit. These gals have been rodeoing, and they've been in some tighter setups before. So, yeah, I would say it's just them maintaining their horses and keeping their mental game strong and staying healthy and coming back here ready to build.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Perfect. All right, breakaway roping.
Yeah, so leading the region, we have Haley Grant. We talked about her a few times, and just a really fierce competitor. I mean, when she backs in the box, you know she means business, you know, and just the focus and the drive to do good. And she's been competing at pro rodeos throughout the year, and she's been doing good there too. And just excited to see her in Casper. And
she's coming off a big win at Santa Maria Pro Rodeo.
Yes,
her hometown rodeo. Yeah, she's got the horsepower, she's got the game plan, she's got the mental attitude, and she just loves breaking. You know, I think she's smiling all the time, except maybe half an hour before a run and
when it's time for business, it's time for business, and Haley knows that. And then following Haley out to Casper, we have Fallon Raffoni from Cuesta, another great competitor. Fallon's been hitting the pro rodeos pretty hard the last few years, and been excelling there. Has a really good horse that she's I believe been working on for the last few years, and she's a great horsewoman and great roper. And I don't know if you have anything else you'd like to say, Ben, but just
I really enjoy Fallon. She's from a good cowboy family right there on the Central Coast, and her family, great people. Fallon has just been a force since high school. She's never really put it all together or had a great first season with horses or whatnot in college. This year, she put a bow on. She was 1-9 twice at our regional finals.
Nice.
And just ran away from regional finals. And I'm so excited that she's made it here and gets to showcase her talent on this stage.
Very good.
Sure. Then our third spot coming from the West Coast is Maggie Usher, and boy, I could tell stories about Maggie all day long. But probably one of the fiercest girls coming out of the West Coast. I mean, she's a force not to be messed with, and so we'll talk about her here in the goat tying in a bit. And 2-event cowgirl here, qualifier. And Maggie, I've gotten the opportunity to rope with her for quite some time, and just a great teammate and a great athlete, and just excited to see what she'll do here.
Yeah, Maggie, absolutely a competitor. Been here before, understands the game. She's got a horse that she's made. She's going to be bringing here that's got all the parts and pieces. They've got a great game plan. She's been working really hard this year to get where she's at.
Perfect.
And it's going to be a great week.
All right. We will wrap up with our final event, the goat tying. I do want to make a comment that I've noticed across the board, across the nation, quite frankly, the point spread in each region, in each event, is tight. In most, and then usually there's a few, there might be 1 or 2 runaways, but even here in the goat tying, I have to get closer. We're still 200 points between 1 and 2, and that's really not that many. I mean, that's one weekend. Right. So, but that's been the trend through every region. Everybody is really tight, which that speaks to me the level of toughness. It's not just 1 or 2 people going out there winning every weekend. Like, it could be anybody's game any weekend.
Absolutely.
And I mean, from a coach's standpoint, it makes it probably a little bit tougher, but at the same time, it's a nail biter. It's a really good watching. You know that your kids are going out there and they're going to compete every weekend because they have to. They can't slack off one weekend.
I think that maybe boils down to 2 things. Number one, the competitive, the amount of competitors in each region is more consistent, a better top end.
Yep.
Also, I think a lot more regions, and this is just based on the conversation we were having the other day.
Yeah.
A lot more regions are going to one-header rodeos, where there's more points available, more opportunities for kind of to put together one good run.
Yeah.
But with stock costs, fuel costs, labor costs, venue costs, to keep costs down in these regions, one-head rodeos are cheaper and easier to put on.
Yeah.
So that does make the points more available for bigger impact. And I think you see that a little bit in what's going on in our region.
Mm-hmm. Good point. I would not have thought of that, but I think putting 2 solid runs together in one weekend can be a little bit easier mentally, but also a little easier on your animal too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, talk about some goat tying.
All right, this year in the goat tying, we're bringing Maggie Usher, Haley Wilbur, and Paige Van Lovensel's. Great set of girls. We've watched them just dominate in the West Coast region. And goat tying, it's one of those events where you kind of see a good handful of girls that have been working hard really rise to the top, and you can kind of watch them. They all have their own style, their own unique way about it, and there's not one way that really trumps the other, but we talk about Maggie a lot, and she's just a heck of a competitor. I mean, she's just dominated all year, switching horses, doing different things, and she still rises to the top. And Haley Wilbur, I mean, she's put some runs together too. You can watch her doing good all year throughout the season. And Paige Van Lovensel's, she same thing, had to hop on a few different horses throughout the year, but still, a heck of an athlete, and put the runs together she needed to make it here.
Man, I think hopping on a different horse in the goat time would be one of the more difficult events to do.
Absolutely.
I mean, just thinking about, I know that steer wrestlers kind of hop around a little bit, have a tendency to hop around a little bit. But I think that definitely would be one of the harder events to just step off somebody else's horse.
For sure. In any event, very similar, but goat tying, I mean, you need to know your arena setup and, know the goat the best you can. And, of course, draw good and know when to get off. I'm not a goat tying expert by any means, but I know there's a lot that goes into it, and you kind of need to identify where you need to be in the run at what point, and put it together for a win.
There's a lot of trust involved in just jumping on a horse. It's
Absolutely.
A lot happening to just expect that horse to be what you need it to be.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh. My old eyes. Let's see. Let me get back here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for giving us a really good wrap up of the West Coast region. If you know who to watch, if you know who you're rooting for, get those signs made and get those tickets bought. I know that we are on track again this year to have record ticket sales. So if you've been thinking about buying tickets, I would suggest you stop thinking about it and make it happen. So I'm pretty sure Saturday's going to sell out. Friday usually sells out. So get those tickets purchased. We want to give a shout out to, to Visit Casper. They are our partner this year, bringing us the opportunity to do the countdown to the CNFR. Also, you guys stay tuned. We're going to be doing, Bullfrog Creatives is going to be doing some CNFR shenanigans. We'll be out in the parking lot on Monday and Tuesday mornings, and then we will launch the Visit Casper CNFR morning show. This year, we're going to be coming live at you from Lou Talbert's in downtown Casper. Changing it up a little bit. We're going to have a start time of 9:30 instead of 9. See if we can make that a little bit easier transition for you guys to come and join us. But if you guys have any questions, if there's somebody that you want to hear from that you would like me to talk to, shoot me a message and I will do the best that I can. You guys, it is officially start time for the 75th annual College National Finals Rodeo and 25 years in Casper. So we are super excited to have everybody back in town and can't wait to get going. Again, we have the Sunday matinee, both Bronx and Breakaway starts at noon. 1. I've totally been telling people the wrong time for weeks. That's right. Come at noon, then you can shop. So we'll start at 1, and then we'll kick off the first round of both Bronx and Breakaway, and a little bit of the second round. Or is it all first round?
Everyone will have their first one done.
Okay. Jeez, I'm out of it a little bit here. So that's a really great family opportunity. If you guys have some kids that just want to kind of check it out a little bit, but maybe can't make it through the whole perf, really great family opportunity.
We've got the mutton bus in between.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I've been talking to kids all weekend.
That's a great opportunity. There's only 2 opportunities for mutton busting in Casper, and this is one of them. So if you guys are wanting to get your kid on a sheep, which will either make it or break it. They're either going to be scared or they're going to want to ride everything that bucks. It could go either way. Enter at your own risk. So
imprinting for future college rodeo.
Yes, for sure. For sure. All right, you guys. Here's to the 25th year in Casper and 75 years of college rodeo. You guys have a good week.